So, I think we had talked about when I said, hey, look, let's just stop. Let's just take this in here. We were talking about the day that this happened. And I know the video said it, but the captain is with me. We're doing, every day in Afghanistan, we got any service members in here. I know the general's here. I know first sergeant's back there. Anybody else? Prior military? The captain is in there one day, and he walks over to the whiteboard, and he says, hey, listen, there's a map. Part of it's a map, part of it's a whiteboard. It says, need you to go to this grid location, writes it up, and when you get there, we need you to do reconnaissance. That's the basics of it, but obviously we do things in the Army, like the long, hard way, a big order, a big operations order. But at the end of the day, long story short, I want you to go to this place. I want you to find out that there are weapons. We believe that there are weapons in there. We believe that these are the guys that have the weapons. We know that these guys have been targeting U.S. convoys. We know that these guys have been shooting U.S. military aircraft. We know that they've been out there shooting at our personnel. And we need you to get this information. We need you to get the proof that this is the cell that's targeting in this area. She said, no problem. I loaded my platoon. My platoon's probably about 40 guys, and this is also with Afghani augmentees. So we're actually handing over, at this time, we're actually handing over responsibility to the Afghanis at the time. So they're with us too. About 5 minutes into it, we leave out of the outpost gate, past the guard shacks, and maybe about 5 minutes into it, we come under attack. Now it's 40 of us. There's only a few, maybe a handful of them, maybe 5 at the most. But a bullet, as fast as it is, it don't matter how many bullets you got, it only takes one. And when you hear it go past you, it makes you feel like it's a lot more dangerous than it really is. They go past you faster than you can see them. You hear them after it's too late already. A bullet moves so fast that by the time you hear it, it's already too late. It missed you already. You make your heart beat a little bit quicker, Make your heart beat a little bit quicker. Now, fortunately for me, this had happened a lot of times, so this wasn't the time to spook me. But we get to the room, and the room is maybe about half, it's a little shack. It's actually a little shack. It's about half the size of the room in here. We're in there, and it was like as soon as we walked in the door, it was like jackpot. It was like walking into a bank vault. It was like explosives over here, and it was like prayer mats, and it's like wires, and like sayings and books and teachings over here. And it was like, this is exactly what we need. We see all the evidence that they've been building these bombs. We have all of the explosive material, detonation devices, everything here. We're good to go. My guys are taking pictures of all the things in the room and taking notes and making sketches, and it's pretty much dead on. We're 90% done with the mission. We're almost done. And we were going to go back, and it was going to be an early day too. We'd have been done by like 10. It'd have been easy. Thing is, the guys that had attacked us before are still attacking them. Are still attacking our guys on the outer perimeter. So I make a decision and say, hey, listen, you guys take care of them in here. I'm going back outside with the outer perimeter. I take the interpreter. The interpreter is like standing right here where the podium is. And I take another young soldier, and I just make a decision, hey, like I'm going back out this way. I take a step, and when I took this step, it was like almost like the hottest temperature that your brain can imagine. It was like a force drew me into that temperature. A force drew me into the fire. It felt like somebody tossed me into a bonfire, almost, maybe. It's so strong though, it's so strong. It dug a hole maybe about 2 feet deep where I was standing at, tossed me back to where Angela is maybe. Now you got to figure, this is me with ammo, this is me with water, this is me with body armor. I'm probably well over 200 pounds at that time with all the armor and everything on. Picks me up, tosses me over there. When I land, I wanted to get right back up. So I'm on my back, trying to get up. And the thing about it, I just couldn't get up. I just felt like I was slipping. Felt like I had on like roller skates or something, like maybe ice skates. I felt like I couldn't get up. And the odd thing about it is, at the same time I'm trying to get up, there's a medic that's running over to me about where the guy in the door is. He's running over to me at top speed, and he's yelling at me, just stay down, just stay down. What are you talking about? Except for this time, it sounded like this. Just stay down, just stay down. What I didn't understand was, at this time, my ears, the hearing, the eardrum had already been perforated. The drum had already been punctured. So everything sounds distorted. Even now it sounds a little distorted, even now. It's hard for me to hear, and sometimes sounds become a little frustrating. It almost be like you're trying to listen to the TV show and there's a rock band playing. Over time that can get frustrating, you know. So what I did was I just sat down, but the oddest thing, the doc's running over and he started to pull out tourniquets. And there's one place that I knew he was gonna put a tourniquet at. It's this right here. So on my arm, none of this, where you see the dark skin in it, it was no skin at all. There's nothing there. I was looking right, I could see you straight through my arm for the first time ever. It's just two bones there. It's like a pulse. It was like, oddly enough, he didn't go for that. And for some reason, I didn't look down enough to even think about that there's something wrong with my legs. I looked down, and there it looked like somebody took like my boots and my trousers and it put them in like the best blender you got and just like sprinkled them like confetti all over the ground. Shoelaces, every stuff everywhere. Where the sand was kind of brownish, it's now pink. And now, for the first time, I'm starting to get a little worried about what may happen. Not what has happened. I already see what has happened. I'm still breathing. I'm still alive. I'm gasping for air, but I'm still here. The thing I began to be afraid of is what may happen in a few coming seconds or a few minutes. And I guess, you know, we see it on TV all the time, and we think to ourselves, well, this is how it's going to be when that time comes for me. And at the time, oddly enough, I'm a pretty optimistic guy, but at the time, I was like, huh. At the time, Whitney Houston had just died, and I think Bin Laden had just been killed. Right around that time. And I'm thinking in my mind, okay, who are all the people I know that should be in the line that I want to be in? If I am in the same line with Bin Laden, I know I'm in big trouble. I know I'm in big trouble. I know my granddad, I know my grandmother should be in this line. But if I look in front of me and I see Bin Laden up the way, it's going to be a long day. It'll be a long day. And I started thinking about these things. Okay, all right, well, chariots should be coming around to pick me up pretty soon. Instead of a chariot, there's a helicopter. There's a helicopter. The helicopter lands. The guys put me on a gurney. They take me up. They take me to the nearest field hospital. Now, I get it. I get it. Some of you millennials in here may not be old enough to know, but it used to be a show called MASH back in the day. And in MASH, when it first came on, the helicopter would be coming over the mountain range. And it'd be coming in, and see doctors and nurses sprinting top speed to the LZ, where the helipad. I swear to you, the same thing happened. I was coming over the mountain range, and it was almost like the song was playing in my mind when the helicopter landed. I land, they put this mask over me, and I'm out for the count. I mean, I don't remember anything. 8 days later, I wake up over in Bethesda, in Maryland. And my wife and my mom are at the edge of the bed. Now keep in mind, I really don't know the extent of the injuries. Well, my wife and my mom were standing at the edge of the bed, and they're explaining to me, honey, everybody's praying for you. Honey, the kids are good. Thank God you made it. We're so thankful. But they still never explained to me what happened. Now, this is the first time in my life that I've ever looked at the bed And I've seen my waist, I've seen where my arms are, I see where my legs are, I see everything, but at a certain point where the kneecap is, everything goes smooth on the bed sheet. I said, man, good gracious, what's going on down there? I see they have these wires hooked to me, but where's the rest of my parts? You know, is it like a special bed? It's like a recliner. It's one of those lazy boy beds or something. She said, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? It's a lazy boy bed. I said, hey, look, it's I don't see the signature where the rest of the stuff is. She said, and then she does this, and then that's why I knew something was wrong. She does this. She looks over my mom, and they both do this. I'll never forget it. I said, tell me what's going on. You know, tell me what's going on. Can't be that bad. Did somebody die? What happened? She said, no. She said, I'm gonna just give it to you straight. You're a straight shooter. You can handle this, I hope. But she said, on Wednesday night, the docs were losing you. And they made a decision to take one leg off to save your life. And I'm processing this in my mind, processing. Just a lot like you, somebody would show up with bad news at your doorstep, processing. And she said, the next day they called and it wasn't working and they were still losing you. They figured you had a few more minutes or a few more, maybe a half hour left. And they said the doc just chose to take the other leg in attempts to save you and maybe get your blood pressure to recover. They had to take them both. It broke my heart because I guess the thing that hurts so bad is now you're telling me I have to start all over again, learning how to do everything. Everything is gone. That's the way I was thinking. I said everything is gone now. Like what am I going to do now? I spent my whole career at this point trying to be the very best airborne ranger possible. My whole career. Made it to the top of the ranks, almost at the top of the ranks, in a relatively short amount of time. A young first sergeant. At the time I was a platoon sergeant. A young guy, a young master sergeant. And now you're telling me that all that is now negated. Or at least that's what I'm thinking. She's not telling me that, but that's the way I'm thinking about it. Every single piece of information that she gave me, I was now thinking, well, now I can't do that. Now I can't do that. Now I can't go here. Now I can't participate in this. She never said any of that. That's the way that my mind took it and ran with it. And how many times is that for you? A little bit of bad news, and what ends up happening is you say, well, this is not possible. That's not possible. That's not possible. This isn't possible. We think that. Nobody tells us that. There's a voice on the inside of us that's telling us that. And are you able to, with that proof, that the mind has a way of taking bad news and running with it and magnifying it, are you able to say, all right, well, if it works in the negative realm, could it work the other way too? Just a little bit of good news, are you able to take that and run with it? Are you able to take just a little bit of gratitude and expand it and magnify it? To be honest with you, for me to be where I am right now, where I do marathons and triathlons, it started with my thoughts. The life that I'm living right now, I'll be honest with you, I'm training for Chicago. This will be my 9th marathon since I've been injured. I do Louisville. This will be my first full triathlon, but I've already done a half. The life that I'm living right now and the things that I'm doing right now, they far supersede what I did before with 2 legs. And I think that the only reason why I could do that is because I thought thoughts that superseded my old thoughts. Like the fact that I'm running Chicago, it started with a thought years ago. The fact that I'm training for a full Ironman, it started with thoughts 6 years ago. I'm living right now what I thought back then, literally. And I'll say it, let me say it like this. You're living the thoughts that you had back in 2012. I don't think there are any 6-year-olds in here. The life that you live right now, you thought into existence. You're living it right now. And I know this. It started with my thoughts, and it went from my thoughts to what I would talk about. And right around when I started talking it, that's where I got the resistance at. I made it past the thought resistance, where my thoughts were pushed back, my thoughts were kind of pushed down. So, well, maybe I can't do that. I graduated past dominating my thoughts and the thoughts of negativity. But then I had to dominate the words of negativity, the words from others that had negativity. There's another realm, there's another level of you being able to overcome and dominate the thoughts, and then it's the domination of your words and the words of others. And then once I began to dominate my own words, here is where the first challenge came at from others. It was this. I told the doc. Now the doc at Walter Reed, these guys, and the general can tell you, these guys were processing massive amounts of traumatic injury. Like more injuries than we ever had in the past, because in the past we never had the know-how, the medical know-how to keep guys alive this long. A long time ago, back with these guys, I wouldn't have made it to the hospital. We just didn't have the medical know-how. So now we're keeping patients alive a lot longer, and docs are being able to evolve in their treatment. This doc says to me, he says, hey, listen, you got a great chance at walking pretty soon here, and you might be running pretty soon here, and that's great. I said, well, I don't want to just walk, I don't want to run. I want to do marathons. And he said, well, I guess that's possible too, but I mean, you know, why would you want to do that? I said, well, I want to exceed where I was before. I didn't want that to be the highest amount of physical training and physical exertion and achievement that I had ever done. I want to surpass what I did before. I said, matter of fact, I think I'm going to be running the Army 10 miler next year. and he had just finished running it. I think they give you like a coin when you finish this race. And I said, I'm going to do that next year. He said, 10 miler. He said, wait. Isn't that going to be pushing it a little bit? I said, no. I'm going to do it next year. And he kind of giggled a little bit. And when you tell people things and they kind of giggle just a little bit, they may not say that they don't believe you, but that little giggle okay, that was like the nail in the coffin for me. Because I'm like, he knows more than anybody that I could do it or I couldn't do it. Maybe I shouldn't even be believing in me because he's laughing at the very fact that I'm even thinking this. I can remember telling this guy, like, very bluntly. Now, this is an Army captain. Maybe he's a major, I don't know. I'm a sergeant, so clearly the rank is different here. I'm not supposed to be getting violent or angry with a captain. But when he laughed, he was laughing and he kind of giggled. He was looking at the clipboard at the same time. And no disrespect to the officer corps, but I hit the clipboard went flying, and I was like, I'm gonna do it next year. I got real angry, and I went back and apologized, but I was so caught up in the moment that he would even think that this was not possible for me. The audacity for him to think that I wouldn't be able to run a 10 miler. Now, that's the way I saw it. Now, to everybody else, it's like, yeah, the doc probably had a point. But for me, I was like, this guy's crazy. Of course I'm going to be at the 10 miler next year. Why wouldn't I be? And have you ever had people kind of like listen to your dreams, laugh at your dreams, and then make you doubt your dreams? That's the way I felt in the moment. I felt you listened to him, you heard him, and he laughed at him. And for me, that's all I need. All I need is just a little bit of doubt. This is the type of dude I am. Give me a little bit of doubt. You tell me just one time that you doubt a little bit, and I'm here to train. Tell me you doubt just a little bit, and I'm gonna make you a believer too, even though you don't believe now. I'm gonna make you a believer too. And the irony of the situation comes at mile 7.5 the very next year. Doc is running. I take a break. Doc is running. And I'm taking a break, and I'm changing my legs out, and I'm drying them off, kind of doing a little maintenance, and who do I see walk by? The doc. Now, there's a very great opportunity for me to dance, showboat. I told you so, I told you, and I could have done that. But the very thing that I wanted to do, but didn't do. But I know he remembers. And he never came out and said it. But I was like, hey, Doc, hey, look, man, hey, good luck, man. I'll see you at the finish line. He's like, Sergeant King? I was like, yeah. Hey, good luck, man. Run. Go ahead, catch up. And he kind of like, and he takes off running. And I remember at the end just thinking, wow, what satisfaction that life gives you. Not for rubbing it in their face, but for you believing in you. For you believing in you. For you not accepting what life is giving you or what you have thought up to this point. But what great gifts for you believing in you. For you staying in it. You get rewarded for that. For believing when nobody else believes. For believing in what nobody else sees, for that matter. You're the only one that saw this outcome, and you stuck with it. Golly, what a great reward. But you don't get that reward for just anything. You got to stay with it. You got to believe when everybody else stops believing. Whether it be in a marathon or 10-miler or a relationship. In a church. In a business idea. You got to continue to believe in it way past when everybody else stops believing. That's where this injury taught me so much. Talked about gratitude. Talked about love. Belief. And pushing yourself too. Pushing yourself. You got to push yourself way past tired. Some of us believe in fatigue so much that fatigue becomes our master. Fatigue becomes the boss. Not you no more. Fatigue can sometimes dictate decisions, and this is where we got to be better at. You got to push yourself past fatigue. Past tired. And once you push yourself past fatigue, then you get to meet a you that you've never met before. Talked about it earlier today too. It's pushing past fatigue until you introduce yourself to a person you've seen before in the mirror every single day, but you've never met before. You owe that to yourself. Let's see what I can do way past tired. You're not gonna die. Don't be afraid to push yourself past confusion. Past, I don't know how to do this. Keep pushing. I don't know the right people. Keep pushing. I'm not smart enough. Keep pushing. I'm not pretty enough. I've never been there. Keep pushing. You got to keep pushing past the excuse that you don't have. Everything you need was inside. Everything I needed was inside of me already. I thought that I needed faster prosthetics. So I go to the doc. I said, Doc, I need you to dial me up with the fastest prosthetics you can give me. I want you to make it as aggressive as possible. I want it so that it always feels like I'm running downhill. He said, all right, I'll give you the fastest thing I got. I said, all right, good. He goes out there into the workshop. Stays in there tinkering around, comes back in with the same set of prosthetics. He said, I did that to let you know that you got as fast as we can make it. You're looking for something else. You're looking for some magic formula. You're looking for the speed, he said. Well, look, you got it. You got everything you need. I said, but I'm getting tired too fast. He said, that is going to have to come from within. The speed you're looking for is not on the outside, it's on the inside. And I'll tell you this, that partnership that you're looking for, or that relationship that you're looking for, or that business idea, or that church that you've been looking for, that healing, medicine, therapy, what you're looking for is not on the outside. It ain't. It's on the inside. And speaking of the inside, here's another thing. Somewhere in the pain, there was also medicine on the inside of the pain. But most of us never tap into the medicine that the pain in our life sometimes introduces us to, because we avoid the pain. And subsequently, guess what we also do? We avoid the medicine. See, this caused a lot of pain. But the healing from this, not physical healing, but the healing from this, emotionally, mentally, it was in this. Not in some hard to pronounce medicine. It's in here. Right where it started hurting it is also right where it will start healing it. Yes, that terrible thing that happened to you. Yes, it sucks. You don't like to talk about it. And yes, you're still dealing with it years later. And yes, the argument that you had that's bubbled over into a decade-long feud. Guess where the healing is? Right there. We cannot continue to live our life saying the best is out there and not in here. You cannot continue to live your life thinking that the solutions are somewhere else. No, it's right in there. It's in you. Yes, it's in you. Ain't nowhere else. You got everything you need right now for this moment. Are there going to be things that come along to help you out a little bit later on? Yes, but for this moment, you already have what you need. And I'll say this lastly. It's this. You got to be able to see. You got to know that the finish line is always there. Tomorrow or Friday, I hop on the road and head back to Atlanta. Now, if we go to the top of this building, we go to the top of the Washington Monument. I can't see Atlanta from there. But guess what? I know it's there. And I'm going to get out on the road and I'm going to drive for hours because I know that it's there. Are you prepared to jump out on the road and travel toward the things that you want in life, even though you can't see them? Do you know that it's there? Or do you stop because you cannot see it? Do you stop studying because you can't see graduation? Do you stop working at the relationship because you just don't see it getting better? Do you stop praying for the kids because you don't see any change? You become a victim of what you see? Or do you stand on top of what you cannot see but know? And I would say the latter is a much better experience. Thank you guys for your time.